If we take those, a picture of the strategic and looking at outputs in terms of service and cost, and then the inputs that you in your work are either creating or working with, one of the critical ones is the idea of workplace culture. So what I've got here is the human synergistics picture, and they detail 3 workplace cultures, and maybe you can spot yourself, your organisation or previous organisation. So the best one is what's called a constructive style, so where the organisation and individuals pursue excellence, where people maintain their personal integrity, people support each other and they cooperate with each other. And then the 2 others that are spoken about, less positive, less constructive than that first one. The second one is the passive defensive style, and that is an organisation where people go along with others and they tend to not rock the boat because there's no future in rocking the boat. The culture is it's more vertical and hierarchical, and you don't get a lot of input from people below. So please those in positions of authority, and in that environment we wait for others to act first. So you can see they're probably not the most innovative. People keep their heads down, they tend not to give feedback, and it tends not to be asked for. So it creates an environment where there's a passive defensive culture. The third one, a little bit stronger, is the aggressive defensive style, where people actively oppose ideas, they play politics to gain influence, they compete with each other rather than cooperate. So if we go back to the concept of seamless or collaboration, obviously this culture has limited collaboration across the departments, and there tends to be a bit of silos and empires, and yes, we see plenty of organisations like it. But in this sort of today's world where it's complex and connected, these types of organisations are finding it very difficult to stay with the more agile, faster movers. So moving on from that idea of the 3 types of cultures, just think, so this human synergistic research, this is what everybody wants. Okay, so all their research says that people all know that they want to live in this constructive style where achievement is high, self-actualising, humanistic, encouraging and affiliative. So that's what everybody wants. So everybody's really clear about what they want in organisational life. And there's 4 different types of those cultures. So let's contrast that with the actual in terms of how people behave and how they're encouraged to behave. And that is the opposite. So rather than the constructive style being predominant, it means that the aggressive defensive styles and passive defensive styles are the most common in organisational life. So it creates a question, why, if we want it, is it so difficult to create? And that's sort of the focus of the next part of this session. So perhaps a question for you, where you currently work at the moment, where do you see your organisation? And you may also then consider your own style and see whether that's aligned with where the organisation is or whether you're trying to do something different. Okay, so a summary of those styles, and I've only listed 4 there, but there are others.